Does YouTube feel boring now? I recognize the irony of reacting to a video about why YouTube feels stale and uninteresting. Yes, no, I get it. I fully understand. But I've been on YouTube for about 12, 11, 14 years at this point, so I feel that I can give a little bit of an interesting perspective on this. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see.
I've done it. I've created the ultimate online video. I watched every YouTube video, but because I thought that Mr. Beast...
That sounds like the start of a Mr. Beast video. I watched every YouTube video and I made the best one.
That very thing, I decided to do him one better. I watched every YouTube video and counted every pixel on every frame of every video. And guess what? I still thought that Jimmy might do that, so I decided to do him one better. I did it all in 24 hours.
But did you build 100 wells in Africa while doing it, Pat? Because if not, then not as good.
Give away $100,000 to every viewer of that video. I've done it. I've done it. It's unbreakable. It's unbeatable. No one can ever outdo me. I've outbeasted the beast.
It's not about just coming the best Mr. Beast, though.
Welcome to Game Theory, the superlative channel for overthinking all your favorite things on the internet. Today on Pat Talks About Topics I'm Thinking About Instead of a Game Theory, we're going to be talking about phases. We all go through phases, right?
The phases of YouTube. But YouTube has been through so many phases at this point. There was the point where Logan Paul was dominating. There was the point where Jacksepticeye and Markiplier were dominating. Now there's the point where Mr. Beast is dominating. Like, it just goes through cycles. Much like everything in media goes through cycles. Like, music goes through cycles, like sports goes through cycles of which one is the most popular. Just like films go through these weird cycles of all doing the same thing at the same time. Like, where are the cowboy spaghetti westerns now? They don't get made anymore. Now it's all the Marvel, except Marvel's kind of dying out a little bit too, so something else is gonna have to rise from the ashes. What's it gonna be next?
There's different stuff, we watch different things, and on YouTube we make different content. For the last 3 years, YouTube has been going through what I'm calling the era of excess.
Oh yeah, it's all about how much money can you spend? How much money can you give away? I put this big number of dollar in the title. Oh, don't you want to click on it? Don't you want to watch it now? Honestly, I've never been a fan of those videos. Usually when it's just like, I give away $100 billion, I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but I can't do that because I don't have $100 billion. I kind of just like watching videos from people that can do the same things as me, because it kind of inspires me in a way where I'm like, well, I could do that. When I watch a Mr. Beast video, I'm not really inspired, but I guess it is entertaining. It does keep your eyes on it, doesn't it?
And I probably don't have to explain to you exactly what I mean by that. You pretty much know it when you see it. The title has the word every in it every time. I tried every food from every state. I tried
Oh god, do I do that?
every impossible sport. Mythical has a format called We Tried Every, where they try every flavor of a thing. The Try Guys have Keith Eats the Menu, where he tries every item on a restaurant menu.
Oh, because I don't want to watch a video that's like, I tried some of them. Because I'm like, well, you didn't do all of it, so why would I care? You know, you only have a limited amount of time per day. Everyone has things they need to do in their life. They've got friends and family to interact with. They got jobs. They got to pay taxes. You have to go to the shop and like buy food, and you have to cook food. If you're going to watch videos, you want to watch like the best of a certain thing. So if you're just doing a little bit of something, if you're only doing a little bit of Cheesecake Factory, it's like, well, it's not that interesting, is it?
Rack tries every drive-thru. Eddie Burback goes to every Margaritaville. Matthew
Great
goes
video.
to every Disneyland, where Alpha Rad rides every ride.
That is one of my favorite Alpha Rad videos too. I literally told him this. I was like, this is one of my favorite videos of yours. It was just so fun.
He visited all 197 countries, while Markiplier just tries every flavor of Taki. I mean, he actually just licked every flavor of Takis. It's a bit disturbing there, Mark, even more.
Yeah, he like didn't want to have the calories. It's very strange.
Disturbing than your trailer for Iron Lung. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this. It's every trend that you see everywhere on the platform. Not to be overlooked though, this phase also includes what I call the nice round number syndrome, which contains a big old number with a dollar sign in front, and the numbers just keep getting bigger. While Mr. Beast has certainly been the one mainstreaming this recently, nice round numbers, they've been making titles and thumbnails more clickable since 2012.
The first nice round number video that I ever saw was Casey Neistat's plane ticket video, which went massive. It went huge. Damn, 79 million views now. The 21,000 first class apartment plane seat. This was one of the first like big excess videos. It's like, I'm spending so much money. It came out 7 years ago. 2016, that was the beginning of the era. This is about when Mr. Beast started to really blow up as well, and he started to spend money in his videos, and people were like, oh, actually, it's really cool because I can't experience something like this, so I'm going to watch it vicariously through someone else. I'm going to experience it that way. And I think it's great. Like, it maybe have gotten a bit old now, our tastes have changed now, but when it first dropped and you could see the opulent lifestyle that some mega rich people have, it's kind of interesting.
When top 10s and top 5 lists dominated the entire YouTube ecosystem. And once you know it, but clickable numbers become even more clickable once they're associated with money, leading to all your favorite giveaway and comparison videos.
I don't like these thumbnails, man. They look so fake. It's almost uncanny valley where everything is incredibly clean. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I look at Mr. Beast thumbnails and it looks wrong. It makes me feel uncomfortable in a way that I can't fully describe. It's just so strange to look at.
The numbers evolved from top 10s to top 100s to $100. And then we started adding zeros from there. Many, many zeros.
People
now
like
we have
circles.
$1 steak versus $1,000 steak. $1 versus $100,000 computers. $1 houses versus 100 million.
Like, what is it? Where are you, Mr. Beast? Are you in the clouds? Did you take a helicopter up to the heavens so you could live in God's own very mansion?
$1 houses.
For $100 million, you probably did. In fact, if you're paying $100 million for a house, it better be in heaven.
And of course, the all-time classic, I gave a random person on the street $100,000 for the clout. I mean, obviously there's some vague reason, but we all know what the underpinning of it is, right? It's the clout. We've seen $10,000 ice cream, the world's biggest pizza, and we've watched Casey Neistat recline his way through every expensive Emirati flight on the planet.
They literally mentioned that. I knew it. I knew this was gonna. That's literally this video that I watched. I knew I was gonna freaking pop up. That was the first one. I'm saying.
Clearly, we all love it and watch it. Otherwise, the algorithm wouldn't serve it up to you on a silver platter. But I'm here to tell you that there's a hidden cost to these videos, and no amount of dollar signs and zeros is ever gonna do it justice. The interesting thing about excess videos is that they're not just about the superlative of something or trying something nicer than average. They're a constant, unwinnable game of escalation. We already ate the biggest burger at one restaurant, so then we had to escalate. We had to eat the biggest burger at every restaurant. But once you do that, where else do you go? Well, then you have to eat at every restaurant that ever serves a burger.
And then you have to eat every menu of every restaurant that ever serves a burger.
I'm sure if I asked you why we like this sort of content so much, there are some easy answers that come to mind. It's satisfying. You get to see things that are too expensive to buy for yourself. Maybe it's funny to see people try crazy stuff. All of that is very true, but there's also a lot more boiling under the surface of our excess addiction on YouTube. Understanding the psychology of why you're watching these videos might make...
I think one of the main reasons that people like this so much is, at least for me, when I watch those videos, I just want to see something that I can't do myself. I can't go in a $21,000 plane ticket seat because I don't have $21,000 to spend on a plane ticket right now. Who knows? Maybe next year will be good to me, but I don't have the stomach capacity to eat every single burger from every single fast food restaurant and then rank it on a tier list. I couldn't do that. I'd throw up immediately. I have the stomach of a weak, feeble infant that could not handle that whatsoever. I just think it's fun to see things that you couldn't normally do in real life. Eventually, that does get old. But for a while, it was really satisfying to watch.
Think twice about when to click on them and when to keep scrolling. Today, we're talking about where this era of excess comes from, where it's going, and why you should know for your own mental health. It's probably no surprise to you that watching content on the internet, any content, even this sort of content, is doing all sorts of things to your brain. In a nutshell, consuming content
your brain
online,
is being
scrolling on
influenced.
YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram activates neuronal pathways in your brain that are commonly known as reward pathways.
Have you guys ever felt those pathways get activated, by the way? Because I have. When I was walking home from the gym today, I opened TikTok and I scrolled through it and I could feel the way my brain felt change. And I'm like, oh my God, I can feel the addiction. I can feel the addiction activating in real time. And my brain felt different. I'm like, I don't think this is good. I think this is bad. And like looking away from my phone, it took a little bit of willpower. Not too much, not to the point where it is a big concern, not to the point where it's going to like ruin your day or anything like that, but it just took a little bit of willpower to like move your eyes. I'm like, oh, that's the addiction. There it is. I found it.
Scroll and ooh, a new thing to see. Scroll again and ooh, another new thing to see. Forever and ever, endlessly to the end of time. And each time your brain gets a little happy response to seeing something novel, something funny,
feel it.
something beautiful or interesting. All the things that we try to make our content
just next time when you're scrolling through TikTok or something like that, just pay attention to how it makes you feel and see if you can feel your brain changing as well.
Like online, these happy feelings come from your brain's dopamine reward pathway, and they're the same
good
ones that
looking
get
brain.
activated when someone hands you an ice cream sundae, or the feeling that you get when you beat a level in a video game. Years ago, we actually did a video on this channel all about the addictive qualities of games like Candy Crush, which is just as relevant today for social media as it was back then for mobile gaming addiction. In case you haven't seen it, I'm gonna summarize it quickly. When it comes to consuming content, unfortunately, we're going in with the deck stacked against us, starting with the literal
Don't talk about decks, Matt Pat. I just came back from Vegas. I lost so much money. Let's not have to. Why don't we have the deck stacked against us? Why not a deck of wood or a deck of footballs instead? Doesn't have to be a deck of cards. I don't want to play blackjack ever again. I'm just saying that.
Inside our own heads. Biologically, our brains have been wired from the beginning to find rewarding experiences in life and then double down on those rewards because a few thousand ancestors ago, that was what was able to keep us alive. Now, that reward-seeking behavior we all have baked into our neurons gets translated to a key weakness that can be exploited by everyone from game developers to marketing companies, and especially by social video platforms. Watching funny TikToks, satisfying aesthetic videos on Instagram, and clever YouTube shorts, they're all microdosing dopamine into your brain all day long until you're suddenly feeling compelled to keep scrolling just to try and feel okay.
Nothing gets me more than a Reddit "Am I the Asshole" post that is accompanied by Minecraft surfing.
A lot of research done in this area, and even if literally none of us are following the advice of limit your screen time, we at least know, yeah, we probably should be doing that. But no, really, yeah.
Oh, come on, it's like eat your veggies. Like, oh yeah, eat my veggies, okay. But I do love broccoli though. Oh, broccoli is so good.
We probably should be doing that. The TLDR of all this is that the For You page is giving your brain exactly what it wants, which isn't always a good thing.
That's not true anymore. TikTok, I swear, they've changed their algorithm. They're feeding me some stuff that I don't care about. I'm getting like bombing videos from Israel and Palestine. I'm like, I don't need to see this. It's okay. I know there's really terrible things going over there. You don't need to just serve me a video of like people being exploded. I understand that it is incredibly bad. Please, I would rather not see that. For my own mental health.
Point to short form video as the thing that's getting us hooked on all these platforms, the things that are shamelessly riding those dopamine waves. They're not the only ones that are giving us that little boost to happy. The era of excess on YouTube has given us the exact same action on these same reward pathways, even with long form videos. It's doing this in two main ways. First, the structure of the video usually sets you up for lots of little micro doses of dopamine rewards all the way throughout the video, starting with the opening seconds. Let's just take a classic example from Good Mythical Morning. I tried every flavor of Lay's chips, where they have the setup.
I do the same thing.
Down to a science. Probably why it's a whole series over on GMM.
That's why Then We Fight videos are down to a science too. I mean, if you think about it, the kind of videos that I do on my main channel, the battle videos that I do with my friends, it's all microdosing little bits of dopamine. There's the intro of we're going to do this, and here's the cool little mini game that we're going to play. And then we do the first round of the mini game. We're having banter, we're going back and forth. And just as the mini game is starting to get old, boom, we've got a team, and now we can fight. And we put together everything that has been led up to at that point, building up the squad, and we can use it in a fight. It's like microdosing little bits of happiness and fun and good times until eventually you get to the end of the video, someone wins, and you feel either really good about it because your streamer won, or you feel really bad about it because I lost, because you always support me in those battle videos, don't you guys? I'm sure you do.
Right off the bat by teasing what's in the video. This hooks you in the first few seconds in the exact same way that a TikTok does.
27 flavors of Lay's, but only one can be the best. Let's talk about that.
This is the exact same tactic that Mr. Beast uses in every one of his $1 versus $1 million videos. Or I guess now it's $100 million videos.
This is a $100 million mega mansion.
And this isn't me trying to single out.
It's like the intro to a really, really weird Netflix documentary. It's like if Mr. Beast could get dinosaurs, he would do Jurassic Park in 10 minutes.
Any creators or point fingers, it's just a tactic used by everyone who's successful on the platform right now. Josh Weissman.
Today we're going to be ranking and tasting every major fast food burger in America.
Airrack.
You're looking at a collection of all the fastest man-made vehicles in history.
Hopescope.
What the fuck is it? Why is there a Delta jet? What are they doing there? Maybe that was the same one I flew back from America in. Like, there's a helicopter. There's a guy doing screeves around what is this, like an aircraft carrier in the background? Is there a jet there? What is going on? Like, what was that? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I hate those intros. It feels very fake. I understand it's like very hyper edited because that's what people like. I don't like it. I have like an aversion to them now for some reason.
Mr. Who is the Boss.
I have just bought every single Xbox console ever.
Basically, every major creator on the platform is zeroed in on this strategy as a psychological tactic to get your attention on YouTube. But that's not enough. After those catchy opening seconds, you break the video up into manageable chunks that are, I don't know, somewhere around 60 to 90 seconds each, about the exact same as a TikTok, so people feel like they're getting a new reward for every minute that they stay tuned into the video. Take a look at that same GMM video to see what I mean. 45 seconds to 1 minute and 15 seconds goes by, they switch to a new flavor of chip, giving you just long enough for a satisfying crunch, some color commentary, a couple of jokes, bam! On to the next before you got bored, in hopes.
Now, it is worth saying that not every single YouTube video is like this, and not every single YouTuber is like this. There's a lot of videos that don't act like that. I mean, this video is one of them. I'm not giving you 90-second to 45-second bites because, you know, I'm reacting to someone else's video. But there are a lot of people that don't care about how their video does in the algorithm. They just want to make a video that they like. And you know what? If it doesn't appeal to everyone, that's completely fine. A lot of people do things like video commentaries and scripts. And I love really, really long retrospectives on old games. Like this channel right here, Josh Strife Plays. I love this channel. It's really long retrospectives that just go over really old games, his experience playing it, whether or not it is good or not, whether or not you should play it, overview of the story, some jokes to go in with it, his experiences. I love these videos. These are some of my favorite videos on the platform, and it's not this. So it's worth saying that not necessarily every video is going to be like this. The most popular ones on the platform probably will be because it appeals to the most people and it doesn't waste too much time. But there's a lot of great stuff on YouTube. Let's just say that.
Through the history of Barbie dream houses, a video that I personally loved, by the way. She switches between dream houses less than every 2 minutes. Eric is way more intense when ranking all the fast food restaurants, going through them at a pace of 10 to 30 seconds each. Mr.
I don't think that you can get a proper video out of that. You can get someone watching something, but can you actually get someone enjoying something? Are you really enjoying that? When it comes to food reviews, I'm like, okay, if you barrel through something, you take 10 seconds on a Burger King burger, I don't actually know what you think of it. You're gonna go, that's bad. Let's go to the next one. That's all you get. That's not really satisfying to watch though, is it?
Favorite way to do this is by completely switching up challenges every 3 minutes or so.
And that's not to say that those types of videos are bad. I know I'm pausing a lot because I have a lot to say about this. I don't think that these are bad. It's just not to my personal preferences. And everyone in the comment section can have their own opinions. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. That's completely fine. It's not my personal preference.
An island to my 100 millionth subscriber video switches challenges every 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
And something I wish Mr. Beast videos would have a little bit more of is development. It would be cool if Mr. Beast released an extended cut of his videos that would maybe be an hour to 2 hours long on maybe a separate channel, because long videos like that get pushed in the algorithm. YouTube loves long videos, I know, because a lot of my longer videos do better than my shorter videos. And it'd be cool to just know what the contestants are all about. Because I watched his laser maze video that he just uploaded, and I really wanted the person that won to win. But I didn't really know much about the person that won. I just thought they were cool because of like a few comments that they made. And I was like, well, that's the guy that I want, or that's the girl that I want. Because there's not really much to go off of apart from how they look and a few japes, a few jabs that they might take at the other contestants. And that's really it. On Netflix reality TV shows, you got like Survivor and all that. You're learning a lot more about the people than you are in a Mr. Beast video. It would be cool if there was like an extended version.
Well, in his somewhat controversial Curing People's Blindness video, the longest any individual patient gets in front of the camera is 50 seconds. I could go on and on and on with hundreds of examples of these videos across the platform, each with tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of views, but it all boils down to this one thing. YouTube videos, my friends, have become high-polished compilations. Kind of like TikTok compilations or Vine compilations before.
Everything is a compilation. Everything is a compilation at the end of the day. Every popular YouTube video, everything is a top 10.
Whether or not you or even the people making them realize it. And it works. It works real well. But wait a minute, I hear you saying, telling me I'm throwing all my fellow creators under the bus. How could I do that to all my friends? I'm just a YouTube turncoat. And hey, wait a minute, didn't this video start out using these exact same tactics? Well, let me be clear. Creators, including little old theorists over here, work to make the best content possible for viewers and fans based on the rules of the platform they're working on. You would never see a TikTok start with long, slow classical music and a black screen, right? Why? Well, because the platform doesn't serve that sort of content. People don't respond to slow TikToks with no visual.
Now, I'm pretty sure I saw people watching the new Spider-Man movie in like 5-minute chunks on TikTok.
That would be insane. By the same token, YouTube creators have to live within the extremely rigid boundaries of the platform and the content that's getting recommended here. Yeah, big creators have videos that work very well, and also, it's not really their fault. Creators aren't implementing TikTok tactics like this because they're trying to trick you. They're doing it because this content is what YouTube systems have told them is working. And
True Green 7. The longest a Pokemon is sent on Nuzlocke is 50 seconds too. That's only if you're on my channel. They don't last longer than 50 seconds here, baby.
in case it's still a secret, friends, YouTube has one goal and one goal only here in 2023, to look and feel a lot like TikTok.
Hey, that's not true. I'm giving this 10-hour video of white noise that I downloaded so much watch time.
No coincidence that the excess phase of YouTube has happened at the same time as the rise of TikTok and the same time as YouTube launching its own TikTok killer as Shorts. A lot of large creators understand that they're not competing with each other, they're competing with the product that YouTube really needs to win, Shorts. So at this point, this is the real picture of what making content on YouTube looks like.
I feel like Shorts may be kind of a black hole. Yes, it has people's eyes, but it doesn't have people's hearts. At the end of the day, are there any TikTok creators out there that you really love, that you really would go to the ends of it, that you would go to a convention just to meet? There's probably not that many. If there is, there's probably not that many. There's probably not that many YouTube Shorts creators that you're like checking their channel every day. Did they upload a new YouTube short? But I feel like there's a lot more people that are so dedicated to YouTubers that do long-form content because you really, in a parasocial way, you get to know them a little bit better that way. I feel that you develop better knowledge of a person over long-form content, especially if it's personality-based. Like, for example, Vinny, Luke, myself, and Dylan, when we do Let's Plays and things like that, especially with each other, people are very invested in that type of content, whereas people are slightly less invested in them. We fight videos because it's more quick cut, there's less to build up from, even though there's still quite a bit, and there's less personality going on in there. And then if you do YouTube Shorts, it gets even less so than that as well.
Have to make videos that are as exciting as a TikTok, but long enough to feed YouTube's recommendation system lots and lots of tasty watch minutes. And in case you're not aware of what's going on behind the curtain, these episodes take weeks or even months to create, often costing tens, if not even hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce, all while still needing to be brand safe. Young skewing, but not too young skewing. New and original while still feeling familiar enough for you to click on, and
let's do a test. Right now, I want you to tell me the videos that you may have watched recently that you really remember. What is a video that you've watched recently that you really loved? Or a series that you've watched recently that you've really loved, that you could go to right now if there was a new episode or there's a new video like it and be like, I'm gonna absolutely love this, this is great. What do you really remember? Like I said, you have their arts, you have their eyes, but you don't have their hearts. And that counts for me too. Because a lot of the videos that I truly love, or the channels that I truly love, are stuff that is more long form, that doesn't necessarily take forever to make.
Might just make it onto someone's homepage. Then again, YouTube might just give that space to Shorts instead.
Never fall down, never fail.
Podcasts. For me, it's Critical Role. I started watching Critical Role's second campaign. It's a Dungeons and Dragons series. I have been like addicted to this. It's long form. It's not suited for short form content. I mean, you could probably make some jokes in short form. You can make a little clip series potentially, but it's hours long is not necessarily what YouTube wants right now. It's not quick cut. It's not snappy. It's not to the point. It's long form, and I fucking love it. I'm so invested in this campaign that I'm watching, and it's not at all what the YouTube algorithm is focused on right now in theory, right?
Never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory.
So what's left after all that? Well, a lot of escalation. How do you get people's attention on YouTube now? Do something bigger, more expensive, more flashy, more dangerous, for as long as you possibly can and in as many short, discrete chunks as you can. At the end of the day,
do you remember
isn't about the creators that you're watching, it's about the platform that you're watching those creators on. But there's more to this fun little escalation circus. With more complicated and over-the-top production comes the need for more help. A lot more help. While videos on the platform are becoming more pigeonholed into this escalation and excess genre, they also need a lot more manpower to—
I don't think we should believe we're getting pigeonholed in that. I really don't think we should. I feel like there's so much out there. There are so many people that want to see something else. Not everything has to be like a Mr. Beast video. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm one of the viewers that doesn't want to watch something like this anymore. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but let's not pigeonhole ourselves. We don't have to do it. We don't have to be like this. We could be beyond. We could go plus ultra. Oh, that's so cringe. I'm not going to say that.
Employ nearly 100 full-time employees. Smosh is over 30. Mr. Beast is at least 100, and individual creators who look like they film alone now have full-time teams of at least 10 to 15 people hunting the corners of the earth to find every impossible sport, Pop-Tarts flavor, and MacBook. The cost of these enormous teams lay on even more pressure for every episode to be an every episode, because it has to be a banger. Instead of stories, characters, or in-depth narratives that feel risky, Access videos can be executed by any team who can build a bigger set, visit more Olive Gardens, or buy more weird shoes for you to try on without running into a lot of creative risks. Right now,
I really feel like excess videos are falling off in favor of people that want something a little bit deeper and a little bit more meaningful, though. That might just be me.
This is one of the only ways to effectively thread the needle. It's hard to blame people for leaning into the content that's successful, but you gotta admit, all of it feels a bit limited. There's not a lot of feeling under the surface there other than, whoa, amazing, with that little Vine boom animation to make it seem like something more exciting happened on screen.
Anyone that uses the Vine boom sounds on any video from now on should have their video immediately taken down by YouTube. You should have it deleted. No more Vine boom sound.
Overall, it just makes the platform as a whole feel stagnant when everything carries the same tone. And
But MatPat can do it because he gets a pass. MatPat's allowed to do it.
whose fault is that? The platform. With that in mind, though, so far we've only talked about the ways that the era of excess is hijacking our brain and the programming schedule of your favorite creator. But what about you, as a normal viewer? Turns out that the era of excess may be having a number of other unintended consequences for fans of YouTube, and these consequences aren't so easy to detox from. First, let's just talk about what's so appealing about excess content when we watch it. It's fun. It's neat to see people take things to the extreme, and for a lot of us, the era of excess is a form of escapism. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little escapism. People have been
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Like I said at the start, I was watching it so I could understand and experience things through the eyes of someone else or through the lens of someone else because I couldn't do it myself. Like, eat every single McDonald's burger. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to kill myself with that.
Books, TV, movies, theater, video games, all kinds of media forever to escape their humdrum lives, or in our case, a world that often feels like it's about to burn down around us. A lot of time, escapism media portrays a life that's better, more magical, or often more wealthy than our own. It idealizes tiny problems, fancy clothes, fancy cars, extravagant vacations, or enormous houses. Any of those topics sound familiar? They should. They're literally everywhere in the era of excess here on YouTube. Visit the craziest hotels, eat the $1,000 steak, try on the 20 new outfits that you could never afford, and do it in every video across YouTube. There's actually a name for this kind of viewership, and if it sounds gross, well, it is. It's called wealth prawn, and it's been
Oh, yeah. Just on the same or opposite side of the coin, there's also poverty prawn videos, which is just analyzing or just looking at and highlighting the poorest among us, and it's pretty sad. And once I kind of locked onto the poverty porn videos, I was like, oh, this is kind of gross, isn't it? Maybe we shouldn't just be highlighting this so that we could point at it and be like, ooh, look at those people that have slightly worse lives than us. Is wealth porn videos more morally correct? Or I don't know really on that, but what we can do is a little experiment. I'm going to go to my subscriptions. I'm going to go to my home tab actually, and I'm just gonna scroll a little bit and I'm gonna see how many excess videos we have here. So we have some reacting to cringe videos, we have a speedrun video. Oh, there's an excess one. I got I test ban Huawei products, and there's a lot. There is British food, that doesn't really seem like it is. There's a Curtis Corner video, some Game Grumps, there's a white noise video that I'm getting recommended for some reason, even though I already have one downloaded. I don't need 2 white noise videos, thank you. We got some reaction commentary, you got some Jabo Skyrim, you got everything at Chili's. I'm gonna eat everything at Chili's. See, even though after I thought that I'd stopped watching and consuming this type of content, I still get it served to me because I probably still watch it just in the back, not really thinking about it too much. I'll still click on it every now and then, even though I think that I'm losing interest in that kind of thing, even though there's a freaking Doug video right there. God, I love Doug so much. He's so great.
Been around just as long as wealth itself has. If you're a boomer, your generation had Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, one of the most influential reality shows of all time before reality TV was even a thing. As the creator of the show described it, it allowed everyone to feel like someday they too could live a fancy lifestyle.
When you first conceived, did you have any idea that people would be as interested in how the other half lived?
It's almost as if the whole thing has slipped into the vernacular of the dictionary because everybody is curious.
What's the saying? Is that every American is just a temporarily embarrassed millionaire?
But to an extent that we never dream. Here in America, everybody wants to be a winner. Everybody dreams of being very, very successful. And so for a moment,
American dream, baby. Get as much money as you can.
Dream and say, yes, we too could live like that and be like that.
Moving into the 90s and 2000s, he had shows like MTV Cribs, Real Housewives, and then the ultimate in wealth prawn, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. With each of those shows on their own,
I've never seen an episode of this.
More wealth, more extravagance.
A lot of people watch this show, right? Is it good? There must be someone here that enjoyed that, right?
And more aspirational living than the last. But where wealth prawn used to be confined to just a couple of shows that aired a few times a week, now it's literally everywhere. Every time you log onto YouTube, there it is. A brand new video, or 3, or 7. All ready for you to consume to get that hit of dopamine, except
I tried every way to die.
When you're surrounded by wealth prawn all the time, instead of feeling inspired by the beautiful lifestyles showcased online, viewers report feeling more discouraged about their own lifestyle. Because
if anyone enjoyed that show, they're lying. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I was surprised to realize that people actually like the Big Bang Theory show. I thought it was all a joke. I thought we were all like ironically watching it and kind of making fun of it. But there are people out there that really liked it. I think there are people out there that like everything. Just because someone's taste doesn't necessarily line up with yours doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they're slightly different. And maybe you judge them a little bit because the Big Bang Theory is a bit shit. But you know what? It's okay to have a different,
like there's someone who has it
preference.
Than you. Someone who could afford to explore exotic islands or buy 30 pairs of sneakers, all the while inflation continues to rise out here in the real world. Everything is getting more expensive, and you're just out here wondering if you're going to be able to afford next month's rent. But if every video you see online is in every video, it can be hard to remember that fact. And it starts to normalize the idea that we should all be living in this excessive way. And so when we can't, we start to become disappointed and dissatisfied. And because dopamine is now tied to our viewing addiction, it leads us to watch another video to try and get that hit, to try and feel normal again, to try and see what this one is going to be like. And you just want...
Man, I'm just realizing I have watched pretty much every... There's Joey the Anime Man! I've watched pretty much every single one of these YouTubers.
Repeating the cycle again and again and again.
Apart from that one. Oh, there's C-Dog VA! I have watched him.
Making us feel worse off mentally. This is especially true for younger viewers, where studies have shown that those who spend more time on social media, including YouTube, reported higher levels of comparison and lower self-esteem as a result. It's especially dangerous when you consider that 25% of young people reported...
Young people turning to TikTok for financial advice? Oh my god. What? That's like turning to a rabbit for financial advice. You'd have better luck asking the local pond of ducks what you should do with your money.
Going to platforms like TikTok to get financial advice, which can then lead them to not only feeling worse, but actually spending more on things they don't need to try and achieve that lifestyle that they're constantly being shown they should have. So
yeah, I went on TikTok for financial advice, and now I've got a Lamborghini and a bottle of Prime and $700,000 worth of debt.
What then do we do? Well, half the battle is just knowing what we're watching in the first place. When we see a video's cold open shouting at your face that you're about to see every of something, you need to recognize that that video is designed to trick your brain into thinking it's getting a prize. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's actually a TikTok compilation designed to give you a hit of dopamine every 2 minutes or less. And seeing a bigger dollar amount in the title, that's not going to lead you to feel better about yourself or the state of your bank account.
Jesus Christ, this is taking a turn that I did not think it would. MatPat says, you see those videos where they eat burgers? It's to make you fucking sad, okay? And if you watch them, you're gonna be sad because you're worthless and you have no self-worth, and it will not close the gap in your soul that is empty and unfulfilled. Do art.
Also, it's important to recognize that even though YouTubers seem to be all footloose and fancy-free with their expensive stuff and far-flung vacations, what you're seeing isn't real. Behind those big videos are big expense
Those
checks.
burgles will not save you.
And ad revenue that pours in is getting poured right back out to the massive teams that are making these videos happen. Behind the
no amount of cheeseburger can fill the gaping void in your soul.
fun is a lot of paperwork, production calendars, and more coordination than your typical Hollywood shoot. No one is truly living the way that you see in these videos, and whatever you see on screen was meticulously curated
Oh yeah, of
by
course.
a team that's bigger than however big you imagine them to be. Now,
I feel like it's very important to have some kind of media literacy or understanding that what you witness is not necessarily the entire truth, or what you witness is the very best of how something can be. And every time that you see something like this, you just have it in the back of your mind, like, yeah, of course, this is an edited video to show the best of something, and we understand this. And it's not necessarily how you should aim to live your life on a daily basis. But that comes down to you. I assume you have that kind of intelligence, and it's very important and hard to tap into it every time. try and make sure that you do.
Speculate about where the platform goes from here, the future of shorts, how far you can escalate before you hit a ceiling, what YouTube should be doing as a platform, but that's
Do the kids? Oh no, they have none. They have no idea. They're dumb as bricks. They have no idea what's going on.
all episodes for another day. For now, knowledge is power. So
Well, I very much thoroughly enjoy game theory videos, and I love talking about YouTube because I do this shit on a daily basis. I love it. I think it's great. Please, listen, subscribe to Game Theory. You've already subscribed to Game Theory, but just do it again. Just do it. Make sure, okay, make sure. And if you want to see more of my face, you can also subscribe to this channel as well.